Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's lesson. We're going to be exploring a term that will be new to many of you, and that term today is called irony. The purpose of this lesson is that you should be able to define the three types of irony, go to the next level, which is identify and explain the three types of irony, and then ultimately want you to identify irony used in the gift of the Magi. Irony is defined as the difference between what we expect to happen and what actually happens. It is often used to add suspense and interest, and it is also used to keep the reader thinking about the moral of a story. In the gift of the Magi, it adds suspense and interest, and it also leads us to the moral of the story. In addition, the end of our story or the irony in our story certainly isn't expected. There are three different types of irony. There's verbal irony, situational irony, and dramatic irony. Let's look at each of these. Verbal irony occurs when a character states one thing and means another. This is the simplest kind of irony. It is often similar to a sarcastic response. Here's an example. When you appear to be sick and someone asks you if you're okay, you say, "Of course," but in the meantime, you're sick and fainting. Another example. "Yay! More homework! I love doing schoolwork over the weekend." "A used piece of gum? This is the best Christmas present I've ever received." In these cases, the person's being quite sarcastic and not genuine. So these are examples of verbal irony. The second kind of irony is called situational irony. This occurs when a situation turns out to be the opposite of what you thought it would be. For example, Katniss's name is entered into the reaping 20 times. Gale's name has been entered 42 times. Yet, it is Prim, who only has her name entered once, who is picked for the Hunger Games. Completely situational irony. Another example, the teacher's daughter is a high school dropout. The mayor's wife gets caught stealing. The chef won't eat his or her own cooking, or the barber always needs a haircut himself. I'm sure you guys can think of examples in your community of situational irony where people have a job perhaps, but there's irony involved in that job. Finally, the third type of irony is called dramatic irony. This occurs when the audience or the reader knows something that the characters in the story, on the screen, or on the stage do not know. It's like the audience is more aware of what's going on than the people in the production, and this is used to engage the audience and keep them actively involved in the storyline. For example, if you've ever seen a Friday the 13th movie, we all know Jason hides in the woods. The characters never seem to know. When they go out into the woods, we're afraid for them. We're on the edge of our seats. We're like, "Don't go there," because we know they're in danger. We scream, we run, we get excited, we cringe, but the characters never know until it's too late. Another example is in Mulan. We know that Mulan is a girl, but all the other soldiers think she's a man. In Toy Story, we know that the toys come alive, but the humans do not. And finally, in The Lion King, we know that Scar is an evil dude who killed Mufasa. Young Simba thinks that Scar is his cool uncle, and he thinks that he's responsible for his father's death. So let's think about this. Are these comments ironic or not? "It rains on your wedding day." Is that ironic? Not so much, just bad luck. You go to the movies and the soda costs $10. You say to the cashier, "Wow, is that all? What a bargain." Is that ironic? Why, yes, you're using sarcasm, which is verbal irony. 3, if you have a phobia of long words, you have to tell people that you have. I can't even pronounce that long word. Is that ironic? Yes, it is situational irony. In 1912, the Titanic was touted as 100% unsinkable, and yet the ship sank on its maiden voyage. Is this ironic? Yes, complete situational irony. You're wearing your best suit on your way to a job interview when a truck douses you with dirty water. Is this ironic? Well, it's certainly unexpected, but it's really just bad luck, kind of like rain on your wedding day. In Othello, which is a Shakespeare play, Iago tells the audience that he hates Othello and is plotting to destroy him. Othello, however, thinks that Iago is a close friend and turns to him for advice. Is this irony? Absolutely. It's dramatic irony. The audience knows more than the characters involved. You name your Saint Bernard Tiny. Is this ironic? Yes, this is both verbal and situational irony, because he's not tiny and it's unexpected. Finally, Mrs. Smith is an accountant who helps people file their taxes and create financial plans. However, this year, Mr. Smith had to file for bankruptcy and was arrested for tax evasion. Is this ironic? Heck yes, this is situational irony, kind of like being a reading teacher whose daughter or son might struggle with reading or not be able to read. All right? So let's revisit our purpose for today's lesson. Can you define the 3 types of irony and name them? Can you identify them using some of the examples we provided? If you can, you did a nice job and you're ready for the quiz. If not, I'd go back and review this video.